Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing the Extreme Components rear sets for the Aprilia RSV4. It took forever to get these things in, coming from Italy. I guess COVID just has everything backed up, but they're finally in and we're ready to get them on. So let's take a look at what we have. Now normally everything else that we're putting on the motorcycle is CNC racing. There was two problems. One, I didn't want to wait to get them, and two, they're almost $1,000 for CNC rear sets, which to me is ridiculously high. So normally I would have just went with your Litex or Attack, but I found these on Hustle Hard Racing, and after talking to Brandon, he pretty much convinced me that these are top of the line rear sets. It's a pretty unknown name, but they're really nice. So let's take a look at them. So the ones that I got are the silver with carbon fiber heel guards. As you can see, they're really nice. They're a CNC machine from a solid block. And these are the fixed pegs. They don't have the folding pegs, which is not that big a deal. Exhaust bracket. This is the brake side. Your brake lever. Comes with all the nuts, bolts, everything you need to install them. These are GP shift. I figured if I'm going to start doing a lot of track days and stuff, I might as well get used to GP shift, so this is what I've picked up. Okay, so before we get started, let's take a look at the tools you're going to need to complete this job. You're going to need a ratchet, an extension. You're going to need a 5, a 4. This one is a long 5 for the pegs on this. A screwdriver, an 8mm, a 10mm, a 13mm, and you're going to need a hacksaw or a cut-off saw or a sawzall, something to cut, most likely to cut the shift linkage because it's going to be too long. And always, anytime you work on a motorcycle, you need Loctite. That's just a given. We'll go ahead and take the brake side off first, and to get started we'll go ahead and take our nut and bolt out of our exhaust. Alright guys, so once you get your old rear set off, the only thing that you need off of it is you need this spring, your brake lever return spring. So just go ahead and pull that off and set it to the side for now, and then you're done with your actual rear sets, your factory ones, so you can go ahead and put those up. Okay, so unfortunately with these, like most aftermarket parts, the instructions are terrible. So you're gonna have to kind of prefab these before you put them on, just to make sure you have everything where it goes. The instructions that come with these are pretty much trash, but it does serve some reference, I guess. So let's just try to pre-assemble this and see how it goes. Okay, so now we're back at the bike. We have our rear set pre-assembled. Everything tightened up the way we want it. Of course, obviously, that's what we're looking at here. So now we can go ahead and mount the rear master cylinder, the pressure switch. So let's see, to mount the pressure switch, sure you take your bolt, and I am going to put a little bit of Loctite on this too, just in case. Tighten that in. So that gets our pressure switch in there. Now we just need to go ahead and mount our master cylinder. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take our rod for our master cylinder, move it up, feed it back into the bottom of the rear master cylinder. Of course, this wants to be a real pain in the ass. Okay. We can go ahead and put our bolts in this. Of course, once again, go ahead and put just a little bit of Loctite on everything. Okay, now that we have that, we'll go ahead and start our bolts to hold the rear set in. That takes a 5mm. Now for these, I'm not going to Loctite them in yet because I want to make sure everything is good before I really permanently install them. Okay, so now that we have the rear set on, we can go ahead. There's a couple things we need to put on. We need to put on the foot for the brake. We can go ahead and install that. And then basically what we're gonna have to do, we can put the peg on too, but we're basically going to have to ride the bike and see how we like it, where it's adjusted at, and then we'll adjust it from there. But right now I just left it at kind of the factory settings, and we'll go from there. Now when you put the bracket on, like we talked about earlier, it fills up 3 of the holes for the foot pegs, but being as I'm taller, I'm going to go ahead and drop mine in the far bottom hole. And if I need to, I'll adjust it from there. That right there is the completion of the brake side. I'm sure after we start riding it, we may want to adjust some of these things. But for now, that's a good starting point. Alright guys, so let me show you what I've done. I've roughly bolted the rear set up. I've got the shift linkage just stuck on. And then I put the rod, the factory rod that comes with the shifter, or with the rear sets, and just screwed it in all the way down. So now I know that my other linkage was roughly in this position, and all I'm going off of is the foot portion, whatever you want to call this, where it sits on the bike. Now I know if I put it roughly here, I can kind of line up where I need to cut that off for it to fit right. And then I can go ahead and mark the shift linkage and cut it off. It's better to leave it too long than too short. But remember, if you always have this amount of adjustment, I don't even know if that's a word, adjustment, and in the bottom too, that you can move it out to always make the shifter change where you want it. So just kind of get it roughly like you want it. I want to leave a little bit of room in here, so we're going to put it there, and then I'm going to mark it right there. And now I need to cut that much off with a Sawzall or whatever your method is. You can use a Sawzall, you can use a tubing cutter, you can use a hacksaw, whatever you want to use. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and recap what we've done. We've roughly thrown the rear set on. It doesn't need to be tight, just throw it up there so it stays in place. We had figured out where our shifter linkage was, the position it was in before, and then we had to take our new shift rod and cut it off. Now, I just took a hacksaw, cut it off. Take your time. If you need to, you can actually order shift rods in the linkage that you, or the length that you need. So you can get online and look those up. They're all over the place. Just a shift rod, and then measure your the length. I went ahead and cut mine off with a hacksaw to get it to fit. I do have adjustability in it to where if I need the shifter to come up or down, I have room to do so. Now this is GP shift now, and I know that from before having other bikes that have GP shift, when you're riding with tennis shoes or whatever kind of shoes, you always have more room. But once you put your riding gear and your boots on, it seems like to me that I always had to adjust my linkage a little bit to get my foot underneath it. That's just me. It may not be the case for you. So now that we have everything roughly fit, we'll go ahead and take everything back off, reassemble it, Loctite everything, and put it back together. I need to get a lift table. It would be much easier to work on this stuff with a lift table. Obviously, this is what I'm talking about when I say we're tightening that up. The front of this is an Allen also, just like the back. So just crank it down on there. Nice and snug. Let the Loctite do the work. Now for the shift linkage, or our toe, we'll go ahead and put our one piece in the back. If I can get it in there, all of a sudden I seem to be having difficulties. There. Put this in here however we want it orientated. And then we'll go ahead and take our screw. I am not going to Loctite this at the moment because I want to ride it first and see exactly how and where I want it. So I'm just going to put it, I don't know, I'm going to guess, just put it right there. We'll go right there. Or if you wanted to, you could always take your stock one and measure the distance between the peg and the toe. Let's do that. That sounds good. Can't find my little tape I had out here, so we'll use our dial calipers from center to center. Looks like 5.5 inches, which is right here. So we'll take this. I don't know, maybe we do need to go the other way. 5.5 inches. Yeah, let's turn it around. And if we go all the way back, we're basically 5.5. That'll work. We'll try it there. If we don't like it, we'll flip it around, reverse it. There's that. Now we can go ahead and put our heel guard back on. Of course, we're gonna Loctite those on there also. You don't want anything falling off. A little bit of Loctite. There's one. There's two. Snug those up a little bit. Nothing crazy. And there you go. That's basically it in a nutshell. The main thing is, we got to put our cap in the center. Go ahead and screw this in. Now earlier I had said, I don't remember what size I said it was. It is metric. It's just real tight because it's sort of plastic, that center cap. So there we go. I'll make sure to put all the sizes all the links to where I got everything. Like I said, leave everything as far as the linkage goes, the height of the shifter, everything. Don't Loctite all that stuff down, because you want to leave adjustability in it, or if you need to adjust it, you need to go ride the bike, check it out and see, okay, the shifter is too low, it's too high. These are GP shifts, so again, they'll take a little bit of getting used to. And now we'll just finish cleaning everything up. All right, there you go. That's the install of the Extreme Components rear sets on the 2020 Aprilia RSV4. Now, these are a little more difficult to put on than other ones I've installed in the past, but they're a great set. They look really good and they're built really well. I'll leave all the links in the description below for them if you have any questions. If you've put any on yours, let me know what you've got on your bike and how you like them. If you like the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to tap that bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.